Hello, good morning, and welcome to the breakfast show on View Ultimate FM. Yeah, today is Monday, another Monday, the 4th, because today is Valentine's Day. Yeah, a day where people are going to be, peppering people's eyes and doing all sort of things, but I'm not going to be part of them, of course, because, I don't do those kind of things. I'm your host for the program. Don't forget to join us live on Facebook at Ultimate FM. Like our page as well to get notified anytime we're live to be part of our programs. You can also listen to us live via our website at www.viewradiofm.com. Follow us on Instagram at official Ultimate FM and on YouTube at Ultimate FM. Right after this short commercial break is the
Yes. It's VO Resort and Event Center. You need some time away from the hustle and bustle of the city to relax, kick back, and have some fun. Time off with family, friends, and that special someone. You have an event and need a beautiful, accommodating space to host your guests? Look no further. VO Resort and Event Center has got your back. With our 1,000-seater hall, restaurant and bar, poolside, gym, tennis courts, golf course, VIP space, kids play courts, alluring bedrooms, and a serene environment to cap it all up. Nothing is left uncovered. VO Resort and Event Center is located at kilometer 36 Ishara, Agoiwoye Road, Ishara Remo, Ogun State. Telephone 081-687-09103, 090-416-26640, and 091-374-23830. With VO Resort and Event Center, you've made the right choice.
You're listening to the best radio station on the planet. The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
View Radio.
View Radio.
View Radio.
View Radio. View Radio FM. We are the best.
One day, come on, leave this radio for me now. I enjoy this View Radio.
Leave him for me for View Radio. Like me, I enjoy him for me. Haji Koko, Nagori.
Hello. Give me the full volume of this FM. I'm enjoying this View Radio.
Welcome back to the breakfast show this morning on View Ultimate FM. Straight to the headlines on the Punch newspaper. Anxiety as ASU makes decision on strike Monday. The Academic Staff Union of Universities is expected to come up with a decision on whether to embark on fresh industrial action on Monday, which is today. Members of the union's National Executive Council have been holding marathon meetings since Saturday. Members of the council, including ASU leaders across campuses, had been in a closed-door meeting at the University of Lagos, Akoka, and would have the final lap of the meeting by 12 midnight today. They promised to address a press conference on Monday to announce the resolutions of the two-day meeting titled Neck for Neck. There was anxiety among university students and parents last night over fear that the union may declare fresh strike. Well, there is still anxiety as, there have not been any official statement yet from ASU as regards the meeting that they have. Although people are expecting that, okay, they will come out and say there's going to be another strike as they have been threatening. But we are hoping that, it wouldn't lead up to that. We are hoping that there is going to be a form of resolution because, a lot of students have, they are in panic right now. Let me just say such because, you see the comments on social media. People are saying, so I'm going to go home for how many months again? And some people that are just, at the final lap, just at the verge of finishing, are they now going to stay at home for how many months? 1, 2. A lot of times when ASU goes on strike, it doesn't end in a short period of time. It drags for a long time, because most times the federal government is not able to meet their demands and they don't want to budge. I really would not blame them. Like I say, they have families as well. They have needs that they have to meet, and these things that they are not, giving to them, this money that they are not giving to them, their salaries that are not being paid, those things are going to affect their entire well-being and their families as well. So we can't blame them in that aspect. But what we are asking is very simple. The federal government should listen to ASU and meet their demands. This incessant strikes, they have become too much. Let me just put it that way. They have become too much, and it's been a long time coming. I think it is time that the federal government really does something about it. Ekiti Varsity students in court over 4.7 million naira fraud. A 400 level student of the Department of Philosophy, Ekiti State University, Ado Ekiti, Ayodeji Aderobaki, has been arraigned of 4.7 million naira. It was alleged to have defrauded Okolo of the sum in August 2021. The 22-year-old was arraigned on 3 counts bordering on conspiracy, obtaining by false pretenses, and stealing. He pleaded not guilty to the charges. The magistrate admitted him to bail the sum of 2 million naira with 2 shorties in like sum, and the matter was adjourned till March 9, 2022, which means it was adjourned till next month. Well, what I would just say regarding this issue is, if indeed he is guilty, usually even when someone is guilty in court, there's a way they say, oh, they are not guilty. I've never been tried to court before, but then even if you're guilty or not guilty, you always want to defend yourself. That is human nature for you. But still, I think more investigation should be carried out, and if indeed he is guilty, 2 million naira bill, just letting him go like that is not the solution. Admit he's 22-year-old, but then he should be made to learn his lesson and justice should be served. The person that was defrauded is a human. He worked hard to get that money, and for you to defraud someone of that amount of money simply because of your own selfish reasons, you would be able to commit other kind of crimes. So I think that he should be given the judgment that is good for him. Still on the Punch newspaper, shun money politics, embrace unity, CNG urges youths. The coalition of northern groups has urged Nigerian youth to embrace unity and love for one another and shun money politics for national development. The chairman of the group, Nastura Sharif, made the call during the Maitama Sule Leadership Lecture Series held at Bayero University, Kano, with the theme, Role of the Youth in Shaping the Future of Northern Nigeria, organized by the student wing of the coalition. A very good thing to say. He's urging youth to embrace peace, unity, love for one another, and shun money politics. Most importantly, 2023 is just around the corner. We might feel like it's far away, but then it's not far at all. It's just around the corner, and if we do not start taking the right steps and making the right decisions and having the right orientation, especially youths, trust me, a lot of things are not going to go well come 2023, regardless of how much we shout and say we want a change. The change has to start from us. So if we don't embrace unity and peace, if we don't see ourselves as one, and if we do not shun money politics, we're already seeing a lot of young people, the same people that say, oh, we don't want the people that have been ruling us for from ancient of days to still be the ones that rule us in 2023. They are still the same people that are still coming out to say, okay, yes, I'm showing my full support to this person, I'm showing my 23 years, meaning that there's still going to be a whole lot of things, and people are already peddling stories like, oh, this set of people, they have received money from this person and that is why they are in support of the person. Well, we do not have we are not sure of those stories, but what I would just say is, do what your conscience says is right. Don't do anything because of money. Do not vote for someone or campaign for somebody because the person is willing to give you one amount of money and tell you that the money is going to change your life. No, you should do it because you know that this is what is best for Nigeria and Nigerians. Do not do anything because the person is going to give you a certain amount of money in exchange for your vote. It is not supposed to be so. Your vote should not be bought. It should come from a clear conscience, come from a place of, I want this person, I believe in this person, and not because you feel like the person will give you something in return. Okay, fire touches Osun market, destroys goods. Agency suspects power surge. A section of Atakumosa markets in Osun State has been razed by fire. Punch Metro gathered that the shops were razed with goods in the building destroyed before the fire was brought under control. A spokesperson for the Osun State Fire Service, Ibrahim Adekunle, on Sunday said no life was lost to the fire. Adekunle, who noted that 12 shops were razed, said the agency suspected that the incident was caused by a fire surge. Well, investigations are still being carried out, but then from what he has said, he suspects that it was caused by a fire surge. What I would just say is, I keep saying this, and I know I'm not the only one that says it. I say it to you, my audience, and a lot of people say it out there. If you're in a building, your house, your shop, wherever you are, and you're leaving that particular place, do well to turn off all the appliances, all the electrical appliances, everything, your sockets, your fan, every single thing that is, an electrical appliance, to avoid things like this. Because a lot of people just, you just lock up your shop and leave the lights on, leave the socket on, with the intention that, oh, nothing can happen, it's just a socket or it's just a light switch. Anything can happen. Do not leave anything on to avoid things like this, because right now 12 shops have been razed down. Imagine the amount of goods that have been razed down in that shop. Imagine the amount of money that has been lost in that particular fire. Fire is a very, very dangerous thing, very, very dangerous thing, and can cause a whole lot of disasters. Line gunmen kill motorcyclist steal bike in Ogun. Gunmen on Sunday shot dead a motorcyclist identified as Ashimiyu Lawal and took his motorcycle away in the Leme area of Abeokuta South local government area of Ogun State. The lifeless body of the victim was taken to an undisclosed morgue by men of the State Police Command in the early hours of Sunday. It was gathered that there was a bullet wound on Lawal's body. A relative of the deceased, Akintude Sani, explained that the passerby who saw Lawal's lifeless body by the road rushed to inform his family about the incident. Still unknown gunmen, and they have still not been caught. The thing about these killings and these attacks by these gunmen nowadays is the fact that they are not being caught, which means they are still on the run, they're still on the move rather, and which means another person would say very extremely terrible that things like this are happening, and we have still not found a way to catch these people or to stop this permanently. Very, very sad it is. I really do hope that the government, both state, federal, and the police and every other military, office official, they are looking into this matter and making sure that these people are brought to book and that these killings are stopped, because they are becoming something else. All right, that was it this morning on the Punch newspaper. Right after this short.
View Radio. View Radio. View Radio. View Radio. View Radio FM. We are the best.
One day, come on, leave this radio for me now. I enjoy this View Radio.
Kai gida leave him for me for View Radio. Like me, I enjoy him for me. Haji ko na gode.
Hello, give me the full volume of this FM. I'm enjoying this View Radio.
Yes. It's VO Resort and Event Center. You need some time away from the hustle and bustle of the city to relax, kick back, and have some fun. Time off with family, friends, and that special someone. You have an event and need a beautiful, accommodating space to host your guests? Look no further. VO Resort and Event Center has got your back. With our 1,000-seater hall, restaurant and bar, poolside, gym, tennis courts, golf course, VIP space, kids play courts, alluring bedrooms, and a serene environment to cap it all up, nothing is left uncovered. VO Resort and Event Center is located at kilometer 36 Ishara, Agoiwoye Road, Ishara Remo, Ogun State. Telephone 081-687-09103, 090-416-26640, and 091-374-20 Resort and Event Center. You've made the right choice.
welcome back to the program this morning. On the Vanguard newspaper, NSAS Lai Mohammed slams Twitter, Canada over truckers' protest. The federal government has accused the government of Canada of a double standard in the way protesters deemed to be violent are perceived in Nigeria and in the West. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, made the accusation on Sunday while reacting to the unfolding development in Canada, where the Canadian protesters who have blocked the roads and resorted to inconveniencing others have been branded as terrorists and subjected to a number of clampdowns by government and private organizations. Well, we should start, talking about, because the issue of the NSAS protest has not even been settled yet. Fine, we know that when the NSAS protest was ongoing, the international scene and government, United States, United Nations, everybody condemned the actions, which should be condemned, because people were killed. In this instance, nobody is being killed. According to the Canadian government, the truckers are only inconveniencing people, and if they choose to brand them as terrorists in their country, that's is indeed their business. I don't think it should, affect Nigeria in any form. The fact that they condemned killings of innocent citizens doesn't mean you should now come out and start bad-mouthing them in their own turn, saying, oh, so now it's your turn, but now you're branding them as terrorists. But when it was our turn, you guys made us look like we were bad. These people, the people that came out to protest during the NSAS, they were protesting for a just cause, good governance. They were not disturbing anybody. Nobody was complaining about them. But they were still killed nevertheless. And trying to do all this, trying to give reasons why you did it, it's not going to help anything. Trying to give reasons, why these people were actually terrorizing Nigerians. They didn't terrorize anybody. So there is no need of coming out to defend. There's nothing to actually defend. Let's focus on the things that are, of strike. Look at the current fuel scarcity in the country, and the kind of information that we are receiving from our Minister of Information is the truckers' protest that is happening in Canada, and how they were biased when it was the turn of Nigeria. We shouldn't hear of that at all. Okay, still on the Vanguard newspaper, boundary dispute, Okowa warns against bloodletting. Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State during the weekend warned communities against bloodletting over boundary disputes, lamenting the spate of disagreements leading to loss of lives in some communities. Speaking at St. Paul's Anglican Church, Uzere, Isoko South local government area of the state, during the funeral service of renowned boundary scholar and erstwhile Commissioner for Education in the state, Professor Abednego Ekuku, Okowa told the people to embrace peace, saying, "No land is worth the life of any individual." Indeed true. I keep saying this, no land rather is worth the life of anybody at all. You see instances of brothers killing brothers, father and uncle. A lot of it begins to shed blood and do all sort of things just because of a land. It's not supposed to be heard of, especially in times fighting ourselves. Okay, another headline, a very interesting one. Police arrest teacher in Delta for allegedly flogging 19-month-old baby to death. I saw this yesterday. Proprietress and teacher of Arise Nursery and Primary School, Asaba, Delta State, have been arrested by the police for reported flogging a 19-month-old child to death. The deceased pupil, who was identified as Obinna, was allegedly given 31 strokes of the cane by the suspect for playing with water and getting wet. The pupil was said to have fallen into a coma after receiving 31 strokes of the cane from the teacher. Police Public Relations Officer in the state, DSP Bright Idafe, who confirmed the incident, however, said only the teacher was arrested, adding that the matter was being investigated. Disclosing that the victim died on Saturday, Idafe said the suspect was the school proprietress' son. Oh, he said, "We have the suspect who is the son of the owner of the school in our custody. He is a teacher in the school, but I wonder how a teacher would flog a pupil 31 strokes of the cane. I am only hearing it from the media that it was 31 strokes of the cane." The question is, was anybody there to count the strokes while the flogging was on? It was alleged in some quarters that the flogging was perpetrated by the school proprietress herself. Meanwhile, the Delta State government has sealed up Arise Nursery and Primary School, where the pupil was allegedly flogged to death. adding that the school was operating without approval. Number one offense, you see? And we have a whole lot of them, They are not approved schools, but yet they are running. And nobody is aware of it. And that is why we keep saying this. I remember in the case of, the little girl that was killed in Kano State, we said something relating to this during our launch show, that how come this school is in existence in the first place? Because we have a whole lot of schools, they just go and print banners, and say right government approved, when in the real sense they are not government approved. And nobody is actually investigating or carrying out inspections, periodic inspections on these schools to find out, okay, was this school actually approved by us? Was this school approved by us? The Ministry of Education in each state in Nigeria should do their jobs. This is supposed to be their jobs. I remember when we were in primary and secondary schools, we had these inspectors coming once in a while, and when they are coming, everybody hands are always on deck, and they will tell you, today, to make sure you dress very well when you are coming to school tomorrow, because they are going to be inspectors, and everybody was always trying to be in check. But now we don't even hear of that. A school will run for an entire term, 3 months, and nobody comes to check, this school, what is going on, are they preparing them well? These are the kind of checks you carry out before you find out that schools like this are not approved. That is number one offense of the school, that they were not approved. Now, secondly, the school was even trying to conceal it. From what I heard yesterday, the school was trying to conceal the whole thing. I never knew that the suspect was the child of the proprietress. Now it all makes sense why they were trying to conceal the incident. But in the part of people saying that the child was, flogged 31 strokes, well, I can't say, because like what the police PRO of Delta State said, nobody was there to count the number of strokes the child was flogged. Even the mother of the child, was not there at the time it happened. So I see no reason why someone should just jump into a conclusion that it was 31 strokes of him, regardless of the number of strokes that the child was being flogged. That is not the bone of contention. Bone of contention is a very big problem with the parents of this child, because what is a 19-month-old child? That is a year and how many months? What is the child doing in school? That is a question I want to ask. What is the child? The rate at which parents are so eager to send their children away is alarming these days, because there's supposed to be a certain level of intimacy between a child and the father and the mother. Stay at home for like at least a year or a year and some months. In fact, before it was 3 years, but now parents are so in a hurry. You see a child of 1 year and the child is already going to school. For what reason exactly? For what reason? I know you work. I know you have other things. If doing what? Those are the period that a child is supposed to, stay home and develop properly. But then we just want to rush the stages. And this is what happens in situations like that. A child of 1 year and is being flogged. I mean, it's very alarming, very, very alarming. And if something is not being done about this, if there's no form of regulation, trust me, things like this will keep happening. If the Ministry of Education and state government do not come into this situation and say, okay, let's even have a sort of age limit. Let's have a sort of age limit, the age bracket that will be allowed to be, or that will be admitted into schools, and let it be a benchmark for every, both private, public institutions to follow. Things like this will not end. And if there is no proper rule and regulation, covering this school, saying that, okay, let's not use canes, or let us minimize the way we even use them. Let's not use them on this age group. Things like that. But no, nobody's monitoring these things. And if things continue like this, trust me, worse things are going to happen. All right, on the Yaba building collapse, death toll rises to 5. An additional body was on Sunday recovered from the rubbles of the 3-story building that collapsed in Yaba area of Lagos, bringing the total casualty figure to 5. The latest body, identified as Damola, was recovered about 4:22 p.m. while Vanguard was still at the scene of the incident on Sunday. Recall that a 3-story building on Saturday collapsed at number 16 Akambi Crescent off Additional Street, Harvey, Sabo, Yaba area of Lagos, trapping 5 persons. So this is what is currently happening in the Yaba area of Lagos State, where a 3-story building collapsed on Saturday, and we keep asking ourselves, what exactly is the cause of this buildings collapsing? Every single time we hear of one building collapsing, we hear of another building collapsing. What exactly are these developers doing? Well, I would say from what people are saying, it might be as a result of use of or of not good materials, materials that are not fit to be used for buildings. People just want to make money at the expense of the lives of people, and most times these same people that are pushed out of grid to do these things, they end up dying in the process of this same, wondering, don't they learn? And now the death toll has risen to 5. We don't even know if anybody is even going to survive, because in fact, from the picture I saw, it was very, very bad, extremely bad. Okay, let me just take one more headline. NSCDC raids illegal mining sites, arrest one suspect in Akwa Ibom. Operatives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps NSCDC Akwa Ibom State Command on Saturday raided an illegal mining site located at Oboyi Court Ita in Isit Ibom local government area of the state and arrested one suspect. However, while the operatives were conducting journalists and other officials round the site, suspected cultists invaded the place and rescued one Mr. Glory Amos, said to be behind the illegal bunkering activities. So journalists and officials of NSCDC were on the site when cultists invaded and were able to rescue, one of the people behind the illegal bunkering activities. Wow, just wow. When security operatives were still in the place at that time. And we keep wondering, if security operatives cannot fight, mere cultists, then how are they going to be able to fight against bandits and hoodlums and, the rest of them and the, terrorists, when even ordinary cultists, they are not able to keep hearing of news like this, to just be like, these people, they are just holding guns that they cannot even use. That is what is going to be. So I think the government really needs to look into retraining these people, the police, NSCDC and every other security, security operative in the country. They really need to look into retraining them, because these are not times to be weak. These are times to actually be alert. All right, that was it this morning on the Vanguard newspaper. Right after this short commercial break, we'll take more headlines, so stay tuned.
Yes. It's VO Resort and Event Center. You need some time away from the hustle and bustle of the city to relax, kick back, and have some fun. Time off with family, friends, and that special someone. You have an event and need a beautiful, accommodating space to host your guests? Look no further. VO Resort and Event Center has got your back. With our 1,000-seater hall, restaurant and bar, poolside, gym, tennis courts, golf course, VIP space, kids play courts, alluring bedrooms, and a serene environment to cap it all up, nothing is left uncovered. VO Resort and Event Center is located at kilometer 36 Ishara, Agoiwoye Road, Ishara Remo, Ogun State. Telephone 081-687-09103, 090-416-26640, and 091-374-23830. With VO Resort and Event Center, you've made the right choice.
You're listening to the best radio station on the planet. The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
View Radio. View Radio FM. We are the best.
One day, come on, leave this radio for me now. I enjoy this VO radio.
Gida leave him for me for VO radio. Like me, I enjoy them for me. Haji Kongo, na gode.
Hello, Hello. Give me the full volume of this FM. I'm enjoying this.
You need some time away from the hustle and bustle of the city to relax, kick back, and have some fun. Time off with family, friends, and that special someone. You have an event and need a beautiful, accommodating space to host your guests? Look no further. VO Resort and Event Center has got your back. With our 1,000-seater hall, restaurant and bar, poolside, gym, tennis courts, golf course, VIP space, kids play courts, alluring bedrooms, and a serene environment to cap it all up, nothing is left uncovered. VO Resort and Event Center is located at kilometer 36 Ishara, Agoiwoye Road, Ishara Remo, Ogun State. Telephone 081-687-09103, 090-416-26, 091-374-23830. With VO Resort and Event Center, you've made the right choice.
Alright, welcome back to the program this morning on VO Ultimate FM. On the Nation newspaper, police arrest couple with severed breast, hands, other human parts. Operatives of Ogun State Police Command on Saturday arrested a 43-year-old Kehinde Oladimeji and his wife Adejumoke Raji, 35, for being in possession of fresh Emekuta. Were arrested by operatives from Kemta Divisional Headquarters after Chief Moshood Ogunwolu, the Baale of Leme community, reported them to the police. The Baale told the detectives in Kemta Police Division that one pastor, Adisa Olarewaju, who is a co-tenant with the suspect, informed him about an offensive odor oozing from the suspect's room. Thank God for such neighbors. Look, these are not times to, keep quiet about things you notice or things that are annoying. When you notice foul play around you, these are not times to be quiet, because if you keep quiet, you might just end up being the next victim, God forbid. But then these are times that you speak out when you notice something strange around your area. Make sure you talk. Don't just keep quiet and say, okay, it has not gotten to me yet. Nah, make sure you talk. Reporting to someone that is in a place of authority in that community. The person was able to do something about it. Just imagine he had kept quiet and they kept on doing what they were doing. In fact, they might even end up killing everybody in the compound, and then nobody's going to see anything about it. So once you notice any foul play around you, notice something strange happening, in your environment, make sure you speak out, report. Even if you are wrong, at least you said something. That is the most important thing. Do not just say, oh, if your intuitions tell you that something is wrong around here, don't just say, I'm just overthinking it. In fact, nobody can overthink anything in this period that we find ourselves. These are landlord's son demands goats, 100,000 naira, others from tenants from him for the burial of his landlord. King shared the letter on Twitter in response to a viral letter purportedly written by the Oluwo of Iwo, asking the Osun State government for money for his wedding to a Kano princess. He shared the letter addressed to him with the caption, "You never see anything safe. My landlord just died and the son wrote a list of items that I would give him as his tenant for his burial right. Part of the items he's expected to provide include a live goat, 100,000 naira, malt drinks, and alcoholic drinks." For real. Sorry, I'm laughing, but then this is extremely funny. I see no reason why a tenant should be, giving and it seems like an ultimatum, like you must do this. I know in situations like this, because he's the landlord, if you refuse, you might just end up, getting a quick notice out of the compound. But then that is not supposed to be so. I feel like in this part of the country, or in Nigeria, basically, we have this spirit of entitlement. We just feel like it's our right. In the case of the Osun State monarch that was asking for money from the Osun State government because he wants to marry a princess from Kano State. Is it the Osun State government that said you should marry a princess? Did they tell you to go and take her as a wife? So why are you asking them for money? And the way these people ask, it seems like it is our right. You have to give us the money. It's not your right. This thing is very funny. And in as much as this is the first person that is coming out to talk, trust me, some things like this might have been happening, elsewhere in some other places in the country. But then people don't just talk about it. But then it doesn't mean that it's good at all. It doesn't mean that it's good. Okay, let me just take one headline from the Nigerian Tribune. Kidnapped web developer narrate ordeal, seek arrests of perpetrators. A 23-year-old electrical engineer and website developer kidnappers in Benin, led by one Michael. Franklin, in a petition addressed the Edo State Commissioner of Police, Philip Ogbadu, and dated February 11, 2022, with the title A Case of Conspiracy and Kidnapping Against One Michael and Others, said valuables worth 20 million naira were lost to the suspected kidnappers who tortured him for hours. Narrating his near-death experience with his abductors, the web designer said that he was beaten and abducted to a popular hotel and lounge along Okoro Street in Benin City, where he was brutalized for several hours. The fact of the matter is I am into web development. I own a FJM Creative Developer World. On the 10th of February, he said Michael requested to see him concerning a website he developed for him 2 years ago. But when he got there and waited, he saw 20 boys who abducted him with guns. They blindfolded me, tied my hands, and took me to an uncompleted building where they started beating me and forcefully took valuables from me. Well, a very, very sad one. Thank God that he was able to escape. That. But then the perpetrators of this particular, I feel like the police should not just sweep it under the carpet and say, okay, you are safe, so it's fine. These people are still, out there. I keep saying it, they're still on the move. So another person could get hurt and they could even come back for him, because it's obvious that the person that did it knew him, someone that he had done a job for about 2 years ago, and the person has come back again to now abduct him and take things from him, meaning that the person can still come back another time when they feel like, okay, the place is clear. So I think that this developer in particular, this web developer, should be under protection while the case is being investigated and while these people are being caught. All right, that was it this morning on the newspaper review. Today is Valentine's Day. Yeah, I'm repping Valentine's. You can see I'm wearing red. I'm wearing red, so I'm repping Valentine. But then I'll say what I've been saying, in the days leading up to Valentine's Day. Today is now today, finally, Valentine's Day. Although there is no particular day to show love. Let me just put it out there that it doesn't matter that because today is Valentine's Day, there are some people that they have not given gifts to their partners, your boyfriend, your wife, or your husband, or anybody for all the years that you guys have been together. But then today you now say, okay, let me give you a gift after the next year, 14th of February again. That's not supposed to be so. Love and giving and all that, kindness, supposed to be an everyday thing. It's just supposed to flow. So it doesn't matter if you don't even have something to give the person today. You can have tomorrow. There is no stipulated time. So people shouldn't start feeling bad and all that because you don't receive a gift today. In fact, gift yourself something. If you don't receive anything, give yourself something and just be happy. Do not let anything, social media in particular, put you under pressure. You can take a break. Nobody's going to judge you. Well, but don't just put yourself under tension or under pressure because of something that is going to end today. All the Valentine packages and everything, it's going to end today. All the promos they are doing, it's going to end today. After today, nobody's going to do promo again. Everybody will rest. So don't kill yourself because of, a one-day affair. Keep on doing what you're doing. Show love to people every day of your life and, just go with the flow. All right, that was it this morning on the breakfast show here on VO Ultimate FM. Join us again tomorrow for another interesting episode. But until then, do stay safe and have